All right, today we're going to tackle a word that, let's be honest, kind of makes people nervous: derivatives. But what if I told you this entire massive multi-trillion-dollar market was actually born from a super simple problem that anyone can understand? Well, let's get into it.
I mean, who hasn't felt that, right? Whether you're booking a flight for a vacation 6 months from now or even just thinking about your grocery bill, we all crave a little bit of certainty. And that desire, that need to lock in a price, is the absolute key to understanding this whole world.
So, to really get this, we're not starting on some crazy Wall Street trading floor. Nope. We're going to start in a field with a classic problem that farmers have faced for, well, forever.
Think about it. It's June. She's poured everything into this crop: time, money, sweat, the whole deal. But she has to wait until October to sell it. What if, between now and then, the price of soybeans just totally crashes? All that hard work, all that investment could be wiped out. That's a terrifying amount of risk. But what if there was a way out of this gamble? What if she could find someone today, in June, who would agree to buy her October soybeans at a price they both decide on right now? Sure, maybe she won't get the absolute tippy-top price if the market skyrockets, but who cares? She's locked in her profit. She's safe. That's a trade worth making. And believe it or not, that's it. That simple idea, that financial handshake between the farmer and the buyer, has a name. It's called a forward contract. And it's the simplest, most basic form of a derivative. Seriously, if you get that, you've already understood the core concept. Okay, so now that we've got our farmer story locked in, let's pull back and look at the big official definition. This is where it all clicks. The key, and I mean the entire key, is right there in the name: derivative. Its value is derived from something else. The value of our farmer's contract wasn't just made up, right? It was directly tied to or derived from the price of soybeans. In this case, the soybeans are the underlying asset. And this is where things just get huge, because that underlying asset isn't just for farmers' crops. It can be physical stuff like gold or coffee. It can be currencies like the US dollar. It can be stocks or even entire stock indexes like the S&P 500. Heck, it could even be something as abstract as an interest rate. Basically, if its value can change, you can probably make a derivative out of it. So if derivatives are a financial toolkit, you gotta have more than one tool, right? A mechanic doesn't use the same wrench for every single job. The financial world has a few key instruments, each designed for a different purpose. Now, we've already met forwards. That's our farmer's private handshake deal. It's totally custom. Well, futures are their big, official, publicly traded cousins. They're standardized, meaning the size, the quality, the date, it's all set. And because they trade on a big exchange, you don't have to worry about the other person flaking on the deal. The exchange guarantees it, which is a huge deal. All right, next tool in the box: options. And if you forget everything else about them, just remember this one word: choice. You have to hear that again: the right, but not the obligation. This right here is the absolute game changer. Unlike a futures contract where you are locked in no matter what, an option gives you, well, an option. You have the choice to walk away if you want to. And it breaks down pretty simply. There are two main flavors. A call option gives you the right to buy something at a set price. You'd want this if you think the price is about to go way up. A put option gives you the right to sell. You'd grab one of those if you think the price is headed for a nosedive. So let's put this head to head: futures versus options, because this is super important. With a future, you are obligated. You have to see the deal through. That can mean unlimited profit, but it can also mean unlimited catastrophic loss. Yikes. With an option, though, your risk is capped. The absolute most you can lose is the small fee you paid upfront to buy the option in the first place. And finally, we've got swaps. Now, this one sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty clever. Just imagine you have a loan with a fixed interest rate, but you're pretty sure rates are about to drop. Your friend has a floating rate, and she's terrified rates are going to spike. A swap lets you, well, swap. You agree to pay her floating rate, she agrees to pay your fixed rate. You both get the kind of loan payment you want without having to get a whole new loan. Okay, so we've got the what. Now let's talk about the who. Who are the people actually in this market, and what's their game? You can pretty much break everyone down into one of three camps. Now, they're all in the same market, but they are there for totally different reasons. First up, the hedgers. And hey, we've already met one. That's our farmer. These are the people who are using derivatives to get rid of risk, to create some certainty in their business. They aren't trying to score a massive payday. They're just trying to sleep at night. Then you've got the speculators. They're the ones who look at the risk our farmer is so desperate to get rid of, and they say, you know what? I'll take that bet. They are willingly taking on that risk, betting on whether prices will go up or down, all in the hope of turning a profit. And last, we've got the arbitrageurs. Think of them like the market's efficiency police. They hunt for tiny, fleeting price differences for the exact same thing in two different places. They buy low here, sell high there, almost instantly, and pocket a tiny, risk-free profit. It helps keep prices consistent everywhere. So, you've got all these different people, all these complex tools. What's the point of it all? Why does this giant, complicated market even need to exist? Well, it actually serves some incredibly important functions. The big one is risk transfer, moving risk from people who don't want it, like our farmer, to people who do, like the speculators. They also provide price discovery. It's like a crystal ball showing what the entire market thinks something will be worth in the future. And they make everything run more smoothly by boosting liquidity and capital efficiency. And that brings us to the big takeaway here, the final, crucial point. These things aren't inherently good or bad. They're just incredibly powerful. You see, on one side of the coin, they are an absolutely essential tool for a farmer trying to run her business. But on the other side, because of their complexity and especially their leverage, that ability to control a huge amount of value with very little money down, they can become tools for wild, high-stakes gambling that can put the entire financial system at risk. It really is a double-edged sword. So what's the final verdict? Are these things a vital part of our complex modern economy, or are they just a ticking time bomb? The truth is, they're both. And figuring out how to get all the benefits while managing that massive risk, well, that's one of the biggest challenges in all of finance.